Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is March coming to you over the interwaves with another StarCraft 2 cast. This one plucked randomly from the internet, so if you're this guy and you didn't upload this and you end up looking like an ass, then I'm sorry. This guy did it. If on the other hand this guy uploaded it and this guy looks like an ass, well, there's a barcode Protoss. I'm sure he'll get over it, because nobody knows who he is. Anyway, over on this side, it's Barcode. And it would appear these two players actually know each other. These are standard red and white, so it would appear ladder colors, but maybe not. And it seems like these two have a history where... Alright, let's introduce this guy. Jheffe. I'm going to call you Jheffe, because jheffe is not going to go well. Jheffe tends to come out not on top. It's Barcode seems to be the better player, and Jheffe is getting better, but last time still did not win. Right, so these two may very well be trying a very specific build, so let's see what that leads up to. We've got a very early expand for the Barcode, who built... Yep, there you go. Who built an assimilator and did one gas, one in there for gas a little bit, and then switched to 3, and is now switching to 2. He's going back, yes, he's going back. Whereas his opponent going for the 1 barracks as well, and then expanding. So not a great difference, both going for fairly, you know, standard economic builds. And we've got Barcode scouting on down that his opponent isn't on his side, and Jheffe on the other side has absolutely no bloody clue what's happening in the world today. Going to find out with that Reaper. He sends that across first, which isn't the best solution. And oh, what is this? So Barcode doesn't know yet whether his opponent is in this corner or on this corner. But he's going to use that information to build a proxy here. Is that your plan right there? Let's see what we've got building up. What are we finishing? Well, not anything very specific. Building mothership core, building the first kind of or the second adepts. Going to maybe scout with that. No, that adept is staying in a defensive position as well. Alright, so we just... Oh, no, we're going to see that Reaper right there, and that should prompt Barcode to cancel that shade and stay in a defensive position. Now we go in, so he just kept that in there to confirm that that was there, and with this he probably did scout that. No, he's not going to go back and plant a proxy there. Good. Adept get a couple of shots off, nearly killed the Reaper, but the Adept will regenerate his shields, and the Reaper will regenerate all the energy burns or whatever you know, glaive is. Like these guys shoot energy, so you know, sort of generic ball of energy. So yeah, that. And just by the purest of luck, it comes back into his base just as that Reaper... Oh, if he had cancelled that, he would have been in perfect position. And going to be able to get up that ramp, and is going to scout just what his opponent... Nope! Denied. Ha! Nice shot by our Barcode player. Yep. Our Terran knows that his opponent has a pylon and a mothership core, which, considering it's 4 minutes into the game, is not the optimal amount of information you want. So, 2 more scouting opportunities maintain for Jheffe. He could scan, or in this case he's going to do what is sometimes referred to as aggressive scouting. He's going to take 5 Marines, drop him into his opponent's main, and try and kill something with it. And as long as he's killing it, maybe he'll click on it and he'll find what it is. Now, fortunately for him, he's going to find this. He's got like, you know what? No, that's fine. Could do some damage, maybe. But in fact, I did see everything I needed to see, and that would have put me directly over the pylon with the possible overcharge right there. So no, and does know that there are DTs on the way. Should now be building an engineering bay. Yes, there it is. Saving up energy. That is one scan. That is just the one scan. So there you go. Both of the DTs caught in the scan right there, but there's nothing there to actually shoot at them, and that, yep, at war prison. Oh, yep, no, that's the war prison, and now you're just going to have to survive. The second scan actually did finish. So 2 scans, which has a mineral equivalent value, and we lost 8 workers to 5 because our opponent took those 5 marines and put them back into the don't do. Okay, very good. Got into the mineral line of his opponent as well. So a bit of back and forth, and we have 55 workers to 38. So we have our Protoss using that chrono boost to its fullest extent, really pumping out those workers. One of the advantages of these Ts is indeed that you can expand on the back of it. DTs, by its very definition, always possible to just be lurking right here without you being able to see it. And as soon as you move out of your base, walks in, kill your mineral line, and you're kind of boned. So jheffe sort of forced to fly back in. Now with the loss of that war prism, he can rest a little bit easier, and he may just decide to put his rallying point with that to deal with that and move out as he does. That is an interesting place, I was going to say, to put a medevac. Don't try and push this position. Put the tank down here and move on in here. Now, what does the opponent have to deal with it? Well, very nearly he's got a pylon to deal with it. Moving that water ship over is going to be quite a while. To deal with it, he's got a bunch of adepts and a couple of stalkers. That is one pylon. That's a couple of units that are going to get taken down. And that is not where you want to have your adepts resurfacing. And there is an overcharge that is not in range of too much useful of anything, but does mean that jheffe is forced to go back. Has to wait until this overcharge is done. There we go. Overcharge is done. Moves on back in there. Gets a couple of shots off on those workers, and there is where you want to have your adepts. Does clean up those marines very nicely right in the middle of the marines, because the first thing that happened was this siege tank said like enemy, shot at it, did a bunch of splash damage, and those marines, which do have combat shields, were, taken down by however much damage the siege tank does these days. I would look that up, but to be perfectly honest, I believe next Wednesday, or if not next Wednesday, and then the Wednesday afterwards, they're going to change that. So I don't know why I want to be, looking that up. Alright, so our barcode player sees that this thing is somehow magically duplicated itself and putting down there. Probably knows that it's actually flown and gone there, but you never know. People sometimes do very silly things. Oh, just misses that observer. So 3 base against 3 base, but 54 workers, 69. Barcode can focus entirely on army production, whereas our Terran player may still want to add a couple of workers. With the first 2 liberators, getting caught in the middle of the map, is going to, nope, gets the other widow mine. No, gets neither of the widow mines. That is nicely done by jheffe right there. Coming in for another poke. Yep, does now get that widow mine. Pokes one out of there. Very nice use of a bunch of stalkers. This is exactly what you want to do if you have blink stalkers. Your opponent has, delay your opponent until you get that army out. And maybe there is that third Colossus, whereas if he had not delayed that push, he would have only had 2 to deal with it. And jheffe says, you know what? I see what you have there, and I don't want to deal with that. As well, he shouldn't. Was that a kill just now? Well, one of his own marines possibly. Going to send out a liberator to maybe do some backstabbing damage, and does not see those adepts coming by, but his opponent does see all that's going wrong in the world. Scouting Phoenix sees everything there, and we have 2 adepts which are going to try and take out this mineral line. Alright, so Liberator right there, greeted by a couple of stalkers who actually meet up before they can link under it, making sure that his opponent doesn't actually get out of there. And yeah, it's often said that you don't want to shift click that on here, but in this case I guess that would have been better. A couple of adepts getting on into that natural base, as he has 2 in here. He's putting 2 in there as well. So let's see at the worker tab. We're at 19, we're on 20, we're on 21, 22, 23, and that's, yep, nope, gets 24. So 49, 69. 4th base in location for our Protoss, and I'd say jheffe is in quite a bit of trouble. What can you do to deal with this? Well, Liberator's good units, but his opponents is diversifying. So the end-all unit of Yester expansions, Colossi doing lots of splash damage. We have Disruptors doing lots of splash damage. And we're about to get a Psionic Storm on our High Templar. So lots and lots and lots of area effect. Now only the Side Storm actually deals with the air. So if there is, you know, lots of Liberators, then there's not that much you can deal with it, other than, of course, you know, blinking for your Stalkers. But jheffe is doing a very good job of putting those Winter Mines into position, making dissuading anyone from blinking in there. Oh, put a couple of Marauders in there, trying to snipe a couple of Disruptors, but doesn't get a good position. Sees that there is no observer right there, and does know that those Widow Mines are not in danger of getting sniped. Yep, slowly sieging for it with those big... Oh, does shade in there. Now we have a bunch of damage going down on those adepts, and making sure to get those first couple of volleys on there. Disruptors coming on in. We have Sidestorm coming in, and there is the army of jheffe gone. Yes, he killed all the adepts, but that's what the adepts are for. The adepts are there to buffer the... Yeah, they do damage, sure, but they take a lot of damage while you can actually move those more valuable units in position. Those Colossi, which just melt everything. Those Disruptors, which also... yep, nope. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, jheffe. It's been fun. Ouch. GG. If you enjoyed this video, press that like button. If you'd like to see more of me, subscribe.